Hello everyone, my name is Connor King. I'd like to thank the Yoknapatawpha Arts Council for giving me time to speak to you today. And I would like to talk about how, with your help, I think that we can revive the dying Oxford art scene. I have lived in Oxford for about 6 years, and during that time I've seen some incredible shows, some incredible growth in the vibrant art scene. All these awesome local bands, Holy Ghost Electric Show, Young Buffalo, and these great venues like the Dude Ranch from the Cat's Purring. But in the last semester, I've started to see some troubling signs of the scene. And it makes me kind of sad to say it because I've loved going to all of these shows. But what are those signs? Well, two of them are there's been a drop in attendance of the shows, and there's also been a narrowing of the number of available venues. At first, I just thought this was speculation, just something to keep me up at night and all sad and crying. But just 2 days ago, the Local Voice did a story on the state of Oxford music. And I hate to tell you this, it's not good. They did an interview with a local musician named Jace Hughes, who was a drummer for a hard rock band called The Herd. He's been in Oxford for 10 years, and he talked about many of the same issues that I've been talking about right now. He's seen that rise, he's seeing the drop, he's seeing the bands that were once here now gone, he's seeing these venues closed down, and he sees it as a problem. The article states that there's now a lull in Oxford music. I would argue that it goes further than that. One of these venues that closed down, Shelter. One group of arts that uses Shelter is the Oxford Film Festival. They had a showing over there, and it closed down, so in a last-minute decision, they're now doing one of their blocks of films at Nuke's Eatery Conference Room. I love Nuke's. I do. They got great soups. They got good sandwiches. I'm particularly fond of the chicken tortilla myself. And God bless them for stepping in at the last minute. But if you're running an arts festival, do you really want to promote it as taking place inside of a chain restaurant's conference room? These are serious issues that we have to look at. So what I want to do now is I want to talk about where the two major underlying problems are, looking at a couple of venues that have closed down recently. And I also want to talk about my solution, which I think addresses each of these problems. Now, when I talk about these problems, I realize I'm talking about local places. A lot of y'all probably know these people. I know these people. They're great. And I really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But if we don't look at this, then we're not going to be able to fix the problem. So the first problem I want to talk about is advertising. That's both hard advertising, such as posters, and also the use of social media. So here I want to talk about Shelter. Have any of y'all been to Shelter before? So cool. It's like a shotgun shack. They have a cafe bar, like one of those old school bars that you hear about. They had a great stage over at the end. I do not remember seeing a single poster on the square outside of Shelter for a show going on there. I do remember seeing plenty of them inside of the venue. Also seeing competitors' posters inside the venue. I know this because I promoted my own shows at Shelter, at Proud Larry's. This is a problem, and they need to address it. So let's look at the social media aspect of advertising. For the vast majority of their tenure, which was not that long, about half a year, they did not have Wi-Fi. They didn't have Wi-Fi, and the reason they gave was because, well, we don't want a bunch of students come in and just studying the whole time. We want this to be a venue. All right, that's great, that's fine. But let's say that you go see a show on a Friday night over at Shelter, and you see this awesome band that you've never seen before, and you get excited, and you want to take a picture of it, and you want to tweet it or Facebook it or whatever, and then you try to get on your computer or your phone, and it says that the Wi-Fi is not working. Now you can't get advertising. You can't share it. People can't share this exciting experience. So how else are you going to get the word out? Advertising has been a major problem in this town for local arts. The other problem I want to talk about is what I call an oversaturation of the short supply of local artists. What do I mean by that? Has anyone here ever been to the Wall? Yeah, okay, I see one person. That sounds about right. I think you played there, actually. So, yeah. Okay, anyway. Carlos Dangers, Lee Ingram, everyone. No, I'm sorry. They, on Facebook, have promoted a total of 30 shows. Do you know how many performances at that venue during their 5 to 6 month period of time were done by artists who performed there more than once? 23. Out of 30 shows, 23 repeat performances. 6 of these artists performed twice, one of them performed 3 times, and one of them performed 6 times. That's crazy. I don't care how good you are as a local artist, you are not Bruce Springsteen. So it's problems like these that have really started to plague the area. Either people don't know about the shows, or they know about them and just don't care. And as a result, the heartbeat of Oxford Arts is slowly stopping, and if we don't do something, it's going to stop entirely. And what is Oxford without its art scene? So what do? What I would like to do, with your permission, Yoknapatawpha Arts Council, I would like to shoot a pilot at the Powerhouse. And I think that this pilot would be able to remedy all of these problems. And I'm going to go step by step at solving this solution. I want to do a variety show, including comics and a band, and maybe a couple of fringe acts too. And I want to do this because I think this will solve all of these problems. So let's talk about, can we do this? Yes, we can. What resources do we have? This is a little bit different from the Powerhouse, but let's say this is flatter, this is a little bit higher up, but this curtain will do just as well. So you have the ability to do layering, so I can come out and I can host, or someone can host, doesn't have to be me, and do a set, do some talking. And then we say, please welcome Bandy McBand Band, and then the curtains open, you have this great show that's just starting right now. So we have resources like that. What else do we have? Well, courtesy of Oxfilm, we have $40,000 worth of film equipment. That's cameras, that's lighting equipment, that's sound equipment, that's dollies, that's tripods, anything that you could do to do a multi-camera show. And why would we want to do that? Online content. We can record these shows, we can get 5 different angles, we can have an establisher, like, how are you doing, ma'am? We can have someone else there getting a little bit of a close-up, we can have stage right and stage left, we can have a roamer doing around getting crowd shots, getting people's reactions. So we have the resources to do this. So should we do it? I would argue yes. I think that having a crowd roamer, someone on camera getting people's crowd reactions, would be a great way to utilize this. Why? I know this because I work as a camera operator for in-venue basketball games. People love being on the Jumbotron. They get mad at me when I don't get them on the Jumbotron. I had one person express grief about not getting on it because I didn't get him and his wife on the Kiss Cam on their anniversary. Chancellor Vitter. But that's not the point. The point is this. Why do people like being on the Jumbotron? It's because they love being a part of the show. They love being a part of the show. We got the winning point in the last second, and I was there. You know why? Because I was screaming like an idiot once they got that point. And you can see it on camera. This is something that excites people. They'll want to share it. They'll get into it. They'll be like, hey, I got to do this thing. I got to be a part of it. You should come check out the next one. So it's advertising like this, use of social media and online content that would get people excited. What else does it do? It solves the problem of oversaturation. Because one, we have comics from all around, Memphis, New Orleans, Atlanta, that come out and they do their material and you're like, whoa, I've never seen these people before. And there's a lot more as well. Just more than the handful of people you can get for one showcase. Also, we have one band doing 2 songs. It is very difficult to oversaturate when you only do 2 songs and you get on there maybe once, probably never again. Because we want to have variety. And we want these people to get exposure. We want the bands to get exposure to outside areas, and we want outside artists to get exposure to Oxford so they want to keep coming here. I think this would be a great opportunity, and it would solve many of the problems that we've seen currently in the Oxford art scene. So what can we do right now? Well, my local troupe, LAFCO, is putting on a showcase in the next month. I would suggest that you go to it. In fact, I would suggest that you mark going on Facebook on our page, LAFCO, so you can get that interest going and you can see what kind of show we can put together. And I think that you'll be rather pleased. I think it'll reassure any doubts you might have. So here it is. The Oxford art scene is in a bit of a death spiral. And yet we have this crazy gold mine of an opportunity to revive it. A lot of people might just want to say that we're down and out. But if I can borrow words from William Faulkner, whose fictitious town of Yoknapatawpha is the very namesake of the Arts Council, I decline to accept the end of Oxford Arts. I think that it will not merely endure, but it will prevail. And with your help, I think we can make that happen. Thank you.